Hello, Lego fans, and welcome into a brand new episode of the Brick Hour podcast. I am JJ, otherwise known as Langster Builds over on Instagram.
I'm Cameron, otherwise known as Cameron Studios.
And with us again are two good friends. You know them, you love them, from Sakuga Build, Mathoozala and DanieLewa.
Wow. Thanks so
Well,
much for having us on the Brick Hour. Wow. My favorite YouTube channel, my favorite podcast, and I'm on it. It feels so surreal every time. My heart is beating.
we're happy to have you back.
Thank you.
Yeah, this is going to be a great discussion today. Thank you so much for inviting us because it's going to be very exciting.
Yes, it will. We are, of course, talking about One Piece, which unfortunately Cam and I have not watched any of or read any of.
Mhm.
So we need a little help talking about where the theme could go, which is, of course, the main this topic of this week's discussion is what is next for Lego One Piece? But
Mhm.
before we get into that, Cam, what are we building?
What are we building? So, Jade and I discussed a couple weeks ago that we're going to try and lean away from showing off our hauls that we get from Lego stores just because it kind of got a little boring. We want to show off what we built. And I say that because I'm going to break the rule this last time because I feel like this needs to be shown.
Oh boy.
JJ, you'll understand
What did you
because it's
get?
pretty huge.
Oh yeah, you
I
got
had to get
Wow.
I got Bell's Castle, double VIP points. I got it in honor of the fact that I am redoing my Disney shelf, and this is going on the top of it. So I needed it so I would know what space I was working with that was left over.
Mhm.
So I had to get it.
That's
And what
awesome.
I actually built, actually, I got the little space mech with the little castle, the
Oh, cool.
little it's a nice little mech, honestly. Like for a little poly bag, there's a lot of mobility and a lot of articulation. But in honor of today's episode, I built the One Piece brickheads.
Hey.
Hey, all
Yes.
right.
Honestly, I love the details on these and the techniques that they use to kind of like build both their hats and the structure within. Like I talked about last episode with the other brickheads, no single brickhead is the same on the interior, and it's just awesome. It's fun to see what different ways they have to make each brickhead unique. And honestly, the prints on these are flawless. So, if you don't have them, definitely go grab them, especially because there's not a new skin tone, but an uncommon skin tone for brickheads on Luffy. So definitely check those out. And Methuselah, how do you not have these?
First things first. We'll just say it right now. It's Luffy. We'll say
Luffy.
Luffy for the.
See,
It's totally fine.
this is why we need you guys on for today's episode.
It's
Luffy.
totally fine. That's why we're here. Totally fine. Don't worry.
All right, that is what I'm building. DanieLewa, what have you been building?
I actually did build something this week.
Ooh.
To complete the F1 lineup, I got the last one half off clearance because I did not want to pay full price to support these sponsors, but the build was actually really good. I just do
Great.
not care for, well, this team isn't that great either, but great builds, all of them. If you haven't tried any of those F1 cars, they're really good.
All right,
Langster builds.
Methuselah.
Okay, Methuselah. Well, everything. Oh man, August 1st had so much
Don't mind
stuff, but the
me.
most recent one is the Creator 3-in-1 Rhino. The rhinoceros.
Ooh.
It's pretty good. I've been dipping into those, the squirrel, the panda, the flamingo. It's the first like non-fiction sets I've ever owned. But
Really?
oh yeah, other than the One Piece Mecha Team Leader, only thing left for the year is Soundwave and the Across the Spider-Verse CMF. That's all that's
How
left.
was the Rhino? Because I'm gonna grab. I just haven't grabbed it yet, but it looks awesome.
I think the side profile is pretty flawless. I think he's a little slender. He's a
Okay.
kind of skinny rhino. When you look at rhinos front on, sometimes they're a little thicker. That's literally my only gripe. It's
No.
it's pretty cool.
Awesome. All right, JJ, take us home.
All right, so as these guys know, because I told them before we started recording, I recently came into possession of a bulk bin, two bulk bins actually that I got from an old family friend, just totally given to me. And inside that bulk bin was a ton of great stuff that I've already started piecing back together again. So, first things first,
Mm-mm.
I don't have it really here, but the Rogue Shadow was in there. So I've started rebuilding the Rogue Shadow, and I have to, of course, show off Starkiller because he's just awesome. We get Sam Witwer now. I've also started rebuilding the 2012 Doc Ock lab. So I've got the ultimate
Oh,
Doc Ock.
Does that have Iron
Nice.
Fist in it?
Iron, yeah, he's on the floor
yeah.
Oh,
right now.
That was
Oh,
an awesome set.
Also in there was the 2013 King's Castle. So here is the king from that, which is wild,
Oh,
and he's in phenomenal shape. And the two things that I did pretty much manage to practically get all the way back rebuilt was this motorcycle from the Lego movie.
oh.
which absolutely love this. This is always one I wanted when I was younger, but just never got. And the one thing I think I was the most excited about finding in this bin was the original Joker Funhouse
It's not fair.
from 2013.
Wow.
It's not fair.
Like it, and it was all there, just missing a couple little pieces. It's probably in the bin someplace, but I have a ton more to dig through. Like 2012 Quinjet was in there, the Iron Man Malibu Mansion was in there. Like there's a ton of stuff. So
So basically, what you're saying is what rebuilding is going to be jam-packed for the next couple of weeks for you.
yeah, probably. Like, dude, there's an Arc 170 down here from 2010, just chilling on the floor right now. Like, there's a ton in there. So once I get some more of that built up, I will start showing it off. But yeah, that's what I've been building.
Nice.
Oh,
Well,
that's crazy. I mean, you should stop building that old crap Linkster builds and go get some One Peak. That's what I'm trying to tell you right now. Like, it's really cool, but you're kind of flexing on us right now, bro. Like,
I mean,
Because that old
he's got
crap.
the right to flex a little bit. I mean, he's got some insane sets, and this is just at the surface.
he's
Oh
flexing
my
and brag
God.
like he's flexing on us. He knows we're all Lego fans, and he's like, I got this dope thing, and now we're all just jealous, bro.
I mean, that's he's not wrong there. I'm not gonna
I mean,
lie.
isn't that what all of us as Lego fans do, though? When we get a set that we're proud to have, we want to show it off.
DanieLewa gonna flex the Black Pearl on us in less than 1 month. Just watch.
I don't know. We'll see.
It may or may not just be him. I don't know yet.
We'll see what
Oh,
happens. Um, but speaking of the one peak that Methuselah just showed us, Lego One Piece is here. August 1st has come, and all of the sets for One Piece are now on shelves available to be purchased. From what we've seen, they had a phenomenal launch. The Going Merry sold out almost immediately. I think the Bratier did, I'm pretty sure, was on back order almost right off the bat. Those sets are
Dude.
selling phenomenally well. There is a clear demand. These are a hit. And that now begs the question, what's next? This is definitely not going to be a one-hit wonder theme for Lego like Avatar or Scooby-Doo. Like they are going to go back to this and keep on rolling because the show is still going. Obviously, before we get into any of this, everyone's thoughts so far on Lego One Piece, this initial wave. I'm a fan. I think they're great. I think they do a really phenomenal job of hitting on just the core content and like what
Mhm.
people really go to that show for. But starting with Daniel, how are you feeling with this initial theme?
I mean, this is the ideal scenario when any Lego fan of any theme is expecting a new wave to come out, or especially a new collaboration. This is what you hope to get.
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
they knocked it out of the park with almost all of the minifigures, with all of the sets, and it just gets me so hyped for the future. Even the value is there. Like all the pricing is good too. So
Mhm.
there was just nothing wrong. Mostly nothing wrong.
Uh,
Mostly. I guess we'll get into that later.
oh yeah, it's hard. I don't know how much of it is rose tinted. Like you're a fan of the IP, so you're like, oh, anything that Lego will give us, you'll enjoy it even more. I don't
Mhm.
know how much of it is that, or how much of it is the Lego sets are actually dope. Because they did
Okay.
do an insanely good job. Like you could get granular and nitpick all these little things: Zoro's hair, Mihawk's feather in his hat, Nami's skirt. Well, that's not a nitpick. That's a major omission. But so they're definitely, it's not the most 1010% most flawless thing ever, but the sets are definitely worth buying. I'll say that much.
No, I mean, like I said, these all look amazing to me. I'm not personally going to buy them just because within my collection, I just don't have the space for it or the cost for it with everything else I got planning I want to buy. But like the Going Merry alone, I feel like is the perfect, in a sense, it's a perfect set because it best represents the show from what I've seen. It's got the core team within the one set. It didn't do what Scooby-Doo did, where you need to buy every single set to get the entire game. You just need, if you want to buy the entire wave, you can. If you want to buy just the Going Merry, you can. And I feel like this is one of the rare circumstances where the fans of the IP are also Lego. Like it's one of the few IPs where I feel like they're one and the same with Lego fans and One Piece fans. I feel like that's a common thing and I think it's gonna be a hit. It's gonna come back next year, and I'm excited for like just to see a theme be as successful right out of the gate versus some other themes that have tried to and not done so well. This is just awesome for the IP.
Well, and we've seen a lot of what you're talking about with people getting into One Piece because of the Lego, like all the lanners
Hmm.
out there when they did the review. Well, I wasn't into One Piece, but I'm starting to read the manga and the live action. I couldn't get into the anime. I've heard that a couple times now, but like it's definitely encouraging that cross-pollination of fandoms, which is cool.
Yeah.
I would 100% agree with that. I think there's a lot of people who, there's obviously your One Piece fans that are jumping on these sets because this is really, at least from what I understand, this is Lego's first real venture into anime manga in such a very strong way. Like, there's a couple smaller things over the years, but like, this is their re like they dove head first,
Hmm.
and they dove head first like Scrooge McDuck. Like, this was just so much of a massive land. That's not even funny. Now, looking ahead, what could be next? So I think what we start with here is what's missing from season one, because there's definitely stuff missing from season one that could very easily be made into a second wave before season two comes out. Which season two comes out when exactly? I don't exactly. I forgot to look that up before
Should
we
be next
recorded.
year at some.
Next
I
year.
don't know what
Yeah.
month, but
I,
definitely
I think they're
2026.
filming right now, if I'm not mistaken.
The trailer came out. It looks really cool. I think they announced it will be 2026.
Yeah.
But from the trailer, we can kind of identify some things that we probably could see in Lego because I think it's leaked. Yeah, we will be getting a wave two, right? DanieLewa was like, it was just a leak, but they're saying we might get
Pretty sure.
six One Piece sets in
Mm.
2026.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that they are just going to tie that into season two, but maybe we'll see some things that they missed out on season one. Methuselah and I have discussed this previously of like, is there any clear omission? And there are
Mhm.
just a few little things that I think we can identify. I'll start, Matt, and then you can add. But I would say, especially with as far as characters go, Kuro, Kaya, Alvida,
Yeah.
Axan Morgan, like those are some of the ones that it's like it's weird that we didn't get them, especially when Kuro and Alvida are literally on the posters, the wanted posters that come in the sets, along with all
Oh.
the other villains that also did come in the set. So like those are like main villains in the season whole first season.
So with
I don't
those
think.
characters, is there potential for them to be in season two and they're just waiting to do them then, you
Mm.
think? Or are they like a one and done within season one?
Oh, yeah, like
Well,
Alvida, or I don't know how much we want to spoil of things, but there's definitely potential for at least one of those characters that I named to come back.
Okay.
yeah. I think Alvida for sure. She'll be in season two. She was cast and everything. Axehand Morgan, I think he's going to be done. So there's no other chance to get him. And Captain Kuro, it doesn't come back either. Sorry.
That's
And guys, there will
sad.
be spoilers in this video. I think it's
Yeah,
we'll definitely go
it
over
I mean, at
makes
spoilers.
this
Okay.
point, I mean, I feel like if you're a One Piece fan, you're gonna watch this. If you're not a One Piece fan, they're not really gonna watch this episode.
That's true. So yeah, and plus people say you can spoil up the pre-time skip. It's been out for decades, but with the ones Daniel Lewa mentioned, it's kind of hard because what set would you have put Axe Hand Morgan in?
Marine
Because
base where they meet
yeah,
Zoro.
yeah, they would have to make a whole new like marine base type set for the which would be cool. Oh, Marine base would be awesome. We need to get a Marine base, Marine ship in the future. But like Captain Kuro, I think he could have been included in the Going Merry because that's where they meet Usopp, and they get the ship is at the place where Captain Kuro and that whole fight happened. So I was hypothesizing before the sets came out, they could include Captain Kuro in the Going Merry because it would provide an antagonist. Because as is now,
Oh.
there's no antagonist in the Going Merry, which is okay. You get the buggy set, you get the Arlong set, you get some bad guys, but at least we get the full crew in here. So besides the ones that Daniel Lewa mentioned, that's about it. Captain Kuro does have his crew, like the Meow Band brothers. He has a whole cat themed. He's the captain of the Black Cat Pirates, so he has a whole cat themed crew.
Hmm.
The Meow Band brothers are like the Meow Band siblings in the live action because it's a guy and girl instead of two dudes. And then Alvida's crew. A lot of the Buggy Pirates, Buggy's crew isn't there. Arlong has one guy with Chew. So the bad guys didn't get a lot of representation. I feel like it's the first wave.
Is this kind of like a situation where they could go back and like include their vessels that you could kind of trickle those figures into at some point? I mean, I feel like that's probably an obvious way to do it, but at the same time, I'm not sure how much screen time any of those vessels even get, if there even is any.
Right.
Well, and the live action does take a lot of liberties with the source material, so it could be
Mhm.
very possible that we see a lot more of, say, Alvida's ship in season two of live action than we did in season two of the anime. And so that would be an awesome way to get a bunch of different villains with that
Yeah.
ship. Because I think they should continue this format of One Piece ships the most. In a lot of the comments that we've seen on our videos, that's what people want the most. They want marine ships, the different ships for the different captains and the villains and whatever. So it's like having a fleet of One Piece pirate
Ooh.
ships and then your fleet of Pirates of the Caribbean ships to go with it. That would just be the ideal scenario.
Well, and I feel like that's kind of the way Lego should almost take it is like
Hmm.
the pirate that whole pirates genre. Like Daniel, you were at Brick Fair. You saw the giant pirate layouts that
Oh
were
my
like, how
gosh.
many
Yeah.
people are going to end up putting the Going Merry in their pirate layouts now just to have it as
Hmm.
another ship to populate it with?
Easy. Yeah. And it would go so like it's something that translates over like outside of it transcends the One
Hmm.
Piece fandom.
And Methuselah, to your point also, you want to have that antagonist to combat your
Yes.
protagonist. Well, the Going Merry needs something to fight. You need to give
Yeah.
that ship a rival ship to go against. So I feel
Yes.
like that may be a way they can go is including some of those enemy vessels that would make perfect sense, whether it be the Marines or some rival pirates.
Yeah, because like you said, Lankster, some of this stuff doesn't have a lot of screen time. Like Captain Kuro does have a ship with a cat head on the front. It's a cool looking ship. I see it in the manga. I don't know if it ever showed up in the live action, so it's just
Mhm.
not big enough to get its own Lego set. But I think that's one thing season two really needs is a Marine ship. Because in One Piece, the Marines a lot of the time are the antagonists because the main characters are the pirates. So it's kind
Hmm.
of a cool dynamic. So it'd be really cool to see Garp's ship. Luffy's
Hmm.
grandpa is Vice Admiral Garp. He has a little
Oh,
doggy hat, and his ship has a dog head with a bone in the mouth. That would be a really iconic and super
Okay.
cool ship to do. I think it even made a small appearance in season one, but if they expand on it in season two,
yeah.
that would give an antagonist for the ship that we already have.
So now with like the future of like what's to come, like are we expecting just kind of one wave a year, you think? Or do you think they might try and expand it a little bit and go, or do you think they'll just stick with the Netflix show? Or do you think they might try to dip their toes in the actual manga and anime?
Oh,
We have speculated a lot about this actually because we really want this to last forever. Currently, they
Hmm.
only have the live action rights. And at this rate, they're probably only going to do the 3 seasons of live action, and then the cast will be so old, like Stranger Things cast. They're all grandparents. And so it's like, it just won't make sense. And so I could see Lego after running all these years with the live action, and if that ends, and if these sets were doing really well, I could see them
Hmm.
trying to acquire the anime rights to keep the money ball rolling.
Hmm.
it depends, Cameron Studios, because I think it really depends on the Netflix show
That's fair.
for what Lego's going to release because they're going to do because we know season three is coming. So I guarantee you they're
Hmm.
going to do season one, season two, season three sets. After that, though, but the interesting thing is, Cameron, that Netflix is rebooting the anime. So I'm just
Really?
wondering if it
Yeah.
was Netflix that got the rights with the Lego sets or whatever,
So
and
like
Netflix is redoing the anime. Can we then start to get
Yes.
anime-based
Yep.
sets?
so by
I would probably
rebooting
agree.
the anime, do you mean they're just like making it popular again, or are they doing like an entirely new anime show?
They're starting from the beginning. It's a different
Really?
show called The One Piece, and it's going to have, people say quote unquote modern pacing, more modern animation, which is going to be really fun because that's what a lot of people struggle is they can't get into the slower pace of the One Piece TV
Hmm.
show, which is paced that way because they never wanted the TV show to catch up to the manga and have dead space. So that would be a great entry point for Lancaster Builds and Camera Studios to go ahead and
Yeah.
watch this legendary story.
I mean, I feel like part of the reason why some people can't get into some of these
Hmm.
anime or manga stuff is because they've been going for so long.
Hmm.
Like you were saying earlier, there's 1,100 episodes of the original anime. Like, how is anyone like if you like for me having never watched or read anything, like that's daunting. Like I'm
Hmm.
almost too afraid to want to jump in with that because it's gonna take me forever to get caught
Exactly.
up.
That's my thought exactly too. Because like it looks like my kind of show. Because like I'm a fan of pirates. I recently started dipping my toe into anime a little bit with My Hero Academia, and like the idea of watching One Piece sounds cool just because I enjoy pirates. I remember when I was younger, I remember it started playing on Toonami on Cartoon Network,
Oh
and I'm like,
yeah.
okay, this is interesting. I saw like the first 3 episodes, and I never watched it again. But like hearing about now that's 1,100 episodes, what are they, like 20 minutes a piece?
But
Hmm.
oh yeah.
So
But
like
Cameron,
that right there is so long to try and catch up to.
let me ask you this, Cameron Langston and DanieLewa. What is your just most favorite TV show that you've ever watched, Langston Bills?
Batman the Animated Series, easily.
Okay, so Batman the animated series, wouldn't you love if there was even more of it?
Yes.
That's the thing, because people look at it holistically. It's like I compare it to video editing because I do video editing. You look at a whole
Hmm.
project you have to do from start to finish, but you have to take it one cut at a time. So once you like One Piece, it's such a good feeling. You're like, there's so much more to enjoy. Don't you just want more of the dopeness? So
100%.
Is that still going? Is One Piece still going?
it's
Yeah.
still ongoing. They're
So they're gonna
releasing
have both the original anime while also the One Piece is airing on Netflix too.
possibly.
I mean,
Wow.
it's a few years out
Fair.
until the Netflix reboot comes out, but have you guys not even seen the live action on Netflix? Because that's a very easy onboarding
I've
point.
given it a couple episodes. I've watched a few of it. It's actually kind
Okay.
of it's actually gripping me a little bit. I'm getting into it a little bit here. But I think if the live action's only going 3 seasons so far, I think the reboot of the actual anime is where you take the theme next.
Yeah.
If you're gonna let
Nice.
the live action run out and be done, and then give it a conclusive ending and move on, I think that's where you take this as you go to the animation route. Because I feel like with the animation route, you can do a lot more crazy stuff in that than you can live action. Like
Hmm.
for you guys being diehard fans, there's definitely things they've either I'm not gonna say skimped out on, but there's things they probably had to dial back a little bit because of the restrictions you have with CGI and budget constraints for a TV show. I would almost feel like an animated show getting sets would almost do the original source material more service than the live action
Hmm.
TV show sets will do.
So I don't want to talk. I don't want to take all the talking time, but I was just going to say this. You're definitely right, Linkster builds. It will be much more iconic and accurate to what the source material looks like, the
Mhm.
source art and writing. But
Hmm.
there's actually a little bit of pros to the Lego sets being from the live action as well.
Oh yeah.
Because I don't know if you know what the Baratier looks like in the Annie manga. It's has the fish head and it's like just giant green
Oh yeah, I've
tears
seen it.
things.
Hmm.
You've seen it. And so honestly, having the live action version that took liberties does add a lot of more detail to it. Would it be more iconic for anime and manga readers to have the original Bratier? Probably, but this one probably looks a lot more aesthetically pleasing.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
So there's a little bit of trade-off there.
It's getting me really excited for the possibilities for what Lego can do with season two of the live action because we've seen a lot of the people who have gotten cast, and we know kind of where it starts and ends and the locations and arcs that it's going to follow. So we already have a pretty good idea probably of
Mhm.
the characters that Lego could include, which I'm getting excited about.
Oh yeah.
So let's jump into the season 2 discussion now because I feel like that's where a lot of the meat of this episode is going to become. What from the season 2 trailer do you both think is like a lock? Like this is going to be a set 100%.
Okay.
Laboon. I'll
Oh,
just say that, Matt. Like they gotta have
dang it.
some. Oh, that was gonna be yours pick too.
I want to say let's go back and forth, DanieLewa, and I was going to start with Laboon, but okay. Laboon, DanieLewa chose Laboon. Okay, next I will say
If you don't
uh
know who Laboon is, it's the big whale in the trailer. There's a whale at the end of the waterfall. Okay.
yeah, it's the entrance to the Grand Line.
Hmm.
Things start to get zanier and zanier. With the whole One Piece story, it starts pretty tame, even though it's zany up front, and then it just gets zany, like you're uh, too zany. But yes, Laboon would be super iconic. I don't. Daniel and I were thinking though, how would they do a big Lego whale? Would it be too boring? They could do because they go inside of the whale, Linkster. It's
Oh,
like a Jonah of. It's like Jonah from the Bible. Like there's a whole.
Pinocchio.
Yeah, it's that big of a whale, so maybe they could do a. I don't know if this would be the 18 plus set where they do a cross section and have a whole
Hmm.
interior, or if this would just be a whale peeking out of the water, or so. I don't know how they would do it, but Laboon would be a really iconic mascot to One Piece. It'd be cool in Lego.
Hmm.
That's almost something that could be like a micro build. Like do it like don't
Yeah.
do it to scale, do it smaller with maybe like a not micro figures, but like don't do one to scale with the minifigures, do one
Yeah,
little smaller scale so you could still include him without having to worry about all of the constraints of this is going to be ballooned out of control. How do we do
Mhm.
this right? Like things like that.
for sure. Uh, the next one I will say, I think the first place we go is which one is first, Daniel? Logtown or Whiskey Peak? I think
Log Town's
Logtown.
first.
Logtown is the
Logtown.
original place where Gold Roger was executed, and he's the one who gives the speech. Hey, I left my treasure, the One Piece. It's out there somewhere. He starts the whole Great Pirate Era. Uh, so that could be a chance to include the legendary Gold Roger minifigure. He has a wanted poster as well, which is really cool, but that's a flashback scene, so I don't know if it
Mhm.
makes sense to put in the set. That could be another opportunity for Buggy and
Yeah.
Alvita to come back, right?
Yeah, Buggy, Alvita, and Smoker, and Smoker's back. Smoker is a big Marine antagonist, and that would be super hype. I don't. He smokes two cigars at the same time. I don't think Lego would do that, but he's a main character, so it'd be so
Mhm.
weird if they omit him completely. Sure, they could omit his cigars, but like even in the trailer,
I
he's smoking.
mean, in the Pharrell movie, they found a way to have Snoop Dogg do his thing. So I feel like Lego
Yeah,
would find a way to make it work.
The PG
But
spray.
That
exactly.
that
maybe
that
so.
that Pharrell movie, they had smoking, twerking, drinking. I'm like, how was this approved? But
Yeah,
yes,
Um.
there was a lot in that I was
Oh
like,
yeah.
wow,
Yeah. I was a bit
they allowed
surprised.
that.
it's
Getting
almost
a.
like it was like it was directed by Rogue Lannister Scott or something. Like that was
Oh
R-rated,
jeez.
bro.
All right,
That
we're
was
getting off
insane.
topic. You mentioned earlier with the wanted posters. I just saw this with the wanted posters that we do have. How many of them were in the sets already? Like the characters.
I
Like,
think
could they
three
be
or
in season
four, wasn't
two?
there?
Five out of the eight are already characters. There are three that are missing: Kuro, Alvita, and Gold Roger.
Okay.
Gold Roger he should appear. This would be the only time that would make sense for the live action, probably, because Logtown is where he was killed, and so they could include the figure as a reference to the flashback,
Hmm.
Okay.
which they feature in the show, and I'm sure they'll feature it in the season two. So that would make a ton of sense. And then Kuro, he's not going to come back. Alvita, yes, she would. So we'd get two more out of the posters,
But if
and
they
Okay.
we're
did do a Logtown set, the big draw would be Smoker for One Piece. And it's hard though.
yes.
Yeah, he has a whole sash of cigars. He has the smoke fruit, so he can kind of turn into smoke. So I don't know.
Lego will
That would.
find a way.
Can I share my screen camera in studios, or it won't work like that?
Yeah, I think
You
you
should
can.
be able
You
to.
should be able to.
You
Okay,
should be
I
able
don't
to.
want to disrupt the entire
No,
No,
you're good.
please do. If you
podcast.
have things to show
If
off,
you, yeah,
show them
please
off.
do.
I
Give
just
us
had some
information.
references so you guys could see like who we're referring to.
Yeah, definitely. And even for the non-One Piece fans that are watching the episode right now, they'll
Correct.
probably be a bit more familiar now.
Okay, I'm showing screen too. Can you see Smoker on his billower bike?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay,
That's such a sick bike.
That
right.
would be a cool bike to make.
So that's what I'm saying. Like, if they can include that in Logtown, it's kind of like a trike, or just a smoker marine ship too. Like, this would be a
Ooh.
chance to get a marine ship. It would be
Those would be
awesome.
cool. Yeah, that would be a
So
sweet
now
pirate ship build to get.
within the anime, but also I'm sure the live action show itself, those marine ships, are they similar in size to the Going Merry? Or are they smaller, bigger?
Ooh, I think these would be a bit bigger. The
Okay.
Going Merry is their first ship, and it's fairly modest. It's fairly small.
Okay.
Um, but the marine ships would be pretty intimidating. And the thing is, I think for diehards, if it's a generic looking marine ship, you might want to buy two. You might
Oh
want
Okay.
to
yeah.
buy three, like
Oh,
for the crazies.
That's more like that's like a straight up army builder set. Like
Oh
you're
my
gonna get a bunch of
God.
those and build a fleet. Like that's what you're gonna do.
Yeah, definitely. This was the laboon that we were referring
Oh,
to.
okay.
Mhm.
This massive whale that you can go inside. He eventually gets a straw hat painted on the front of him, so maybe they could include that.
I mean, I could see them doing what they did with Avatar 2. There was that big whale set or the Avatar whale set that they could do. I feel like they could either do that with like some molded pieces, some brick build, or maybe JJ like similar to the Jurassic Park set, they could have completely Lego brick build the whale itself too.
I think the problem is he'd be way too small compared to like you look at the picture, like you'd
Right.
have
I
to
mean, I don't
make
think we're not going to get a set on this scale,
no.
obviously. But granted, we don't know what the live action show is going to look like. Like the whale could be just as big, could be smaller. We don't know.
I don't want to spoil anything, but you do get flashback scenes of Laboon future in the future of the show where he's just a little baby too. So honestly, any size of Laboon, it could have been at any point of his life.
Okay.
Um, there's figures that appear inside of Laboon too that would be super zany, like the Doctor. DanieLewa has all the names memorized of these ones.
Hmm.
Isn't it Crotus?
Yes, and Vivi shows up. Like season two is gonna have some dope minifigures. I think we can say that much.
And I
Okay.
think that's the one thing I'm looking for. I'm looking to see. Are they going to carry over the same level of high detail from that we got on like 90% of the minifigures from this? Because I know you guys hated how the one figure I'm liking her name right now. I don't know
Nami,
why.
yeah.
Nah, man.
Nami, thank you.
Oh
But
boy.
Nami's legs, and you guys were not a fan of that. But everybody like Luffy to me had would like see it was a CMF quality. He was
Mhm.
Yes.
that good. They pulled out all the strings for him, which was awesome. So I'm kind of like I hope that they don't go, okay, the first wave was this penultimate awesome thing, and now wave two, we dial it way back. I really hope they don't do that. I don't think they're going to, but at the same
Well,
time, you set that standard, you cannot back off of it.
yeah, I mean we have kind of seen like for a lot of the side characters, they cut as many corners as they can to still make it like okay, here's
Mhm.
the gist of the character without necessarily going all out with giving them all of the molding and detailing they would need. Chef Zeph comes to mind where
Hmm.
they gave him his new beard, but not the giant chef hat. And so
Mhm.
you look at some of these guys from the Baroque works, and some of them would be very easy to do just with like a new hairpiece, like Mr. Five, even maybe Mr. Three. But other ones would just be much more difficult to try to capture exactly all their detail in Lego. Like Chopper, are they gonna really do everything with
Yeah,
Chopper
that's
there?
I was going to answer Laser's question because I think it's going to be very similar to see in the first wave of sets where they give some figures a lot of quality and then cut corners on others. And so the priority needs to be on, I think for season two, Chopper and Robin,
Hmm.
because
Yes.
those Robin's here on the right, those two are the next two crewmates of
Mhm.
the Straw Hat Pirates. So those need to be nailed as much as possible. And then the rest, I guess you could cut some corners, but with Mr. Three, for example, who's being played by David
That's
Polka,
Malkian.
yeah,
Yeah.
Polka Dot
Oh,
Man
Really,
is
that's a
Yeah.
really great pick for him.
it's going to be a cool casting. But for that minifigure, you would have to have a unique hairpiece. Like, and you
yeah.
would
Yeah,
think for Chef Zeph, you would need a unique hair hat. So you need a unique hat on him. So we don't know. Are they going to cut that corner and give him like a brick built three on the top? I don't know.
I feel like Chef Zeph needed just at least a regular chef hat.
Mhm.
I mean,
Just
come
give
on,
him something at least, so he has the
Yeah.
chef hat there.
I
come
mean,
on.
I think with this first wave of One Piece sets, I think the reason that some like they couldn't spend all their budget on every single character because like we had to get the new Luffy hat, the new hat hair combo, we had to get the new sword and mouthpiece. So the what's the guy's name with the
Zoro
swords?
for Zoro.
Zoro.
Zoro, yep,
The fact that he has two swords in his hand, and then the one in his mouth, like that was a new piece. The hat was a new piece. The hat hair combo was a new piece. So like
yep.
maybe with season two, maybe they do get a hair piece with a three. Now, granted, I don't know if that'll ever happen because that hairpiece can't be used again. Whereas Luffy's hat, I feel like that could be used again, maybe.
Luffy's hat
Yeah.
could be used for a
Luffy.
ton of stuff.
For sure. Yeah, you're right though, Camera Series. They gave a lot of new molds. Usopp's new hair bandana.
Hmm.
You got two bandana colors for Usopp's new hat and then Sanji's new hair. So they did give a lot of molds.
And
And I
since
sorry, go ahead.
Well, and just that they got the main cast kind of out of the way as far as the new molds. So
Yeah.
hopefully with season two, wave two, they don't have to make new molds for the main cast. They can focus
Exactly.
on the Baroque
Bingo.
works, on Smoker, whoever else, Dr. Hero Luck and Correa.
Exactly.
The
That would
thing
be
is
sweet.
though, yeah, that's true because we have the Straw Hat mold, but we will also for the Straw Hat members we have so far, we will need some new outfits for them.
Hmm.
Because like when they go to
Mm.
Winter Island to meet Chopper, they're wearing whole different coats and warm outfits. So they're gonna need some new printing as well, unfortunately.
I mean,
So
new printing isn't as bad as new
New
molds. That's the
molds.
thing, though.
For
Like, at
sure.
least you have those molds now. You can go nuts with them. But everything else, say, yeah, you're not gonna like new prints, sure. New molds, maybe not so much for
Mhm.
certain characters. But like you said, now that these core characters are out of the way, now you can focus some of that budget on giving new molds for other characters.
For sure.
All
So
right.
as far as what else there is, Daniel Lewa, they go to Whiskey Peak, right?
yeah,
I mean, the other thing they showed on the trailer, we'll just go here, is Dory and Bragi, which are
Oh.
two giants from Elbath that they interact with on this island. They were shown in the trailer. They look pretty good, or at least one of them was shown in the
yeah.
trailer. And I think that they have to be a Lego set in some regard
Oh yeah.
because it's going to be a big part of the season two. and they're also really significant to the story and lore of One Piece going
Mhm.
forward. So I don't know, would that look uncanny, Langston? Like just buildable Ant-Man style giants? Like how would with human faces, it's always hard, right?
The
I mean,
Brogy
I
mech.
oh dear God, don't even give them that idea. Don't even
Rogi
give
mech.
them that idea.
Oh,
Too
it's
late.
terrible.
I
Too
mean,
late.
you could definitely brick build them for sure. I mean, if you did them as like, I almost think you go back to that style that we had with like Giant Man, or I mean, Ares is back over here for me, but like go back to those big buildable minifigures. I think you can do something in that style. That might
Yeah.
work pretty well.
You
Um,
think that's small, or you think they could go like upscale minifigure scale like we have right now with the Octane and the basic
Oh, that
minifigure?
big. Oh, wow.
that'd be
They could
huge.
do that, right?
Honestly, a build like a minifigure scale build bigger, like whether it's Ant-Man or the Octane guy, might look less uncanny than like the build of like I'm thinking of the Star Wars Bionicle construction figures back with the
Yeah,
Mm,
humanoid
no.
face. When it has a humanoid face, it's just tough. So I don't know, but they have to be in Lego and some they
Yeah.
have to be. It would be so weird if they skipped them for season two sets.
hmm
Especially if they're going to be featured heavily. I mean, I just don't give them like the buildable figure one where it's like like don't do like what they did with Galactus. Don't give us that again for them because I mean, I guess the one could work, but the other one he's too I'm gonna say fat, but he's too
Yeah.
large to
Big bone.
warrant that
Big
style
bone.
build. Um yeah,
Yes.
they're like if they're going to be heavily included in season two, they have to have some sort of representation in some capacity. Now, speaking of minifigures, do we think there's a possibility that some of these named characters that are not returning because they're gone or killed off or whatever may have happened to them, we could see them down the line in a potential One Piece CMF if they ever do one?
Do we want
Uh,
to get back into regular screen mode?
yes, sir.
We
No,
can.
you're good.
Yes. That's up to Lego. Should they do a CMF? Yes. Would the best route to do is the best route to go back to season one and of One Piece, which is to me the most boring part of One Piece. It's great, it's iconic, but things just get cooler and cooler looking down the line. Would that be
Mhm.
the best route for a CMF to do the figures from season one that we missed? Maybe. I don't know, Daniel. I don't even know if there's enough to do. It's just the ones he mentioned, Axhan Morgan, Alvida, and Kuro.
No,
So I think we should get
yeah.
I don't know how they do it though. They don't have the anime rights. So I don't know.
But if they were to get the anime rights or the reboot rights, then they totally should do CMF and just go all the new crazy figures that they could really give all of the budget to.
Yes.
So
I
now like with that being said, like I'm wondering though, I almost wonder if they kind of don't want to do CMF because then they can like we got CMF level figures within the sets, right? Like Luffy, you said like Luffy looked pretty good. And I'm
looks
almost wondering
fantastic.
if they're still releasing waves to sets, I don't think they'll do a CMF. Now, granted, like they've done that with Marvel, they've done Disney, they did like a Batman movie, but I feel like they won't. Lego likes to do, I mean, typically we get Lego's own CMF at the beginning of the year, and then we go back and forth with what kind of IPs we get. I mean, this year we got F1, which let's not talk about that. And then we're getting into Spider-Verse this year after Legos at the beginning of the year. And then we know next year, rumored, we're getting all animal costumes for the first wave. I think I heard Harry Potter. I might be wrong. I don't know what.
Oh,
I might
Really?
be wrong. I don't
leaked.
think. No, maybe not. I'm misremembering. I forget what the ones after are. But I mean, I don't know what. I mean,
This
obviously, I don't know the show, so I don't know what characters they could do with the CMF. But I feel like a CMF would be going just a step too far while they're still trying to release these high quality sets with these great minifigures.
you're right.
So if you think about it this way, what all of the licensed CMFs that they've done
hmm
have been for properties that are just absolutely gigantic, massive.
Hmm.
DC Comics,
hmm
Marvel Studios, even like Spider-Verse, Into the Spider-Verse, Across the Spider-Verse, ginormous, and Spider-Man is the best-selling like merchandise superhero ever.
Yes.
So when you think of One Piece, the live action is just a slice, and so I do not think like a slice of the fandom. So I do not think that they would ever do a CMF on One Piece live action. If they got the anime rights, it's the biggest
Right.
anime in the world, and there's a
Yeah.
massive worldwide fan base.
hmm
I could see them doing it at that point, but we're not going to see that even, until then at least.
Yeah, I was gonna say that also. I mean, I feel like while there is missing characters from season one that didn't get Lego representation, you'd probably have to go down the line like 2 or 3 more seasons until you had enough characters to be able to go back in and make a. And also, you're not going to be able to do that. Like you're going to have to take up 4 or 5 slots with variants of Luffy, variants of Usopp, variants of
Yeah.
Sanji. Like you got to make everybody.
It's
You're
just
not. You're not going to go. It's like the Marvel, like the original Marvel Studios one. There was like 4 versions of Captain America. Like
yeah.
I hope we don't get that for a potential One Piece one day, but that's probably where they would go.
Here's
But
what
One
needs to
Piece,
happen. All they have to do is what Star Wars and Harry Potter do. Wait like 5 years and then redo the season one. Like like they're redoing Luke's land speeder, or we get Hogwarts Castle for the third time. They can just do that with One Piece, and then they can go back and visit characters that they didn't do then that they could do now, maybe.
well, and One Piece is the one property that you want multiple Luffy's of, because you could
Mhm.
do Gear 1, Gear 2, Gear 3, Gear 4, Gear 5 Luffy, and they all look different. They're all super highly
That's
desirable.
the
So,
thing is because that's the number one comment that we get, Langston and Cameron, is I wish it was anime based. I wish it was anime
Hmm.
based. When I walked out of the Lego store to the mall past the Pokemon scalper line, they were asking me in line, "Oh, what'd you get? Oh, One Piece. Oh, is it based on the anime or live action? Anime or live action?" I'm like, "Oh, it's the live action." They're like, "Ah, that they just want anime, anime, anime." So they could do CMF, but it would just have to be. It would only happen, I think, if it's anime based because you see all these One Piece poly bags at
Hmm.
every TJ Maxx, at every Hot Topic, at every these blind boxes. That exact same thing as a CMF. They have
Mhm.
a new One Piece blind box coming out at Pop Mart where it's like it's mini versions of a lot of ships, and I want each and every one of those. So I think a One Piece CMF would go bonkers, but it would
Hmm.
have to be anime based, and it
yeah,
would have to be a little bit shocking, not just the live action, different costumes and stuff like that.
yeah.
So now, like,
Well,
I'm
now,
wondering if Lego would even attempt to do the anime, only because outside of Netflix's One Piece, they've also done Wednesday sets. They've they're doing more Stranger Things sets and potentially more to come. We don't know. So I'm almost wondering if Lego just wants to kind of focus their time on just Netflix and not branch out to the anime, even though everyone's asking for the anime. Because if they have that good, if they did a contract or they made a good deal with Netflix, in their minds it may be like, why fix what isn't broken? That these sets are selling, why even bother trying to spend
Right,
more money to get the rights to the anime when we don't need to?
right. I forgot what I was going to say, Daniel Lewa.
Well, I think it would line up well if they do the reboot, and then that's still that
There you go.
relationship with Netflix. But at this point, they just have a theme saturation. If you go in the Lego store and it's like 500,000 different themes, we got to
Hmm.
start cutting things. Like maybe Dreams got to
Yeah.
go, Ninjago's no,
Batman.
no, Batman's got
don't
to.
you
Whoa,
dare bring
whoa,
up Batman
whoa,
right now.
whoa.
Hey, never
Those
mind.
are
No,
fighting words.
those are that's coming from Mr. Marvel. Don't even bring Batman up.
I I think One Piece has enough of a fandom internationally to where anything Lego releases for it will dominate.
Hmm.
Because you're only going to have like as long as they keep that quality there and they don't skimp out anything. And I think we haven't been brought up like we brought it up a little bit. The pricing for this first wave, awesome.
Hmm.
These were priced extraordinarily well. If you get into like the Star Wars level with this, you will kill it.
Hmm.
I'm confident of that. Star Wars is able to survive because it's Star Wars. That's the problem.
Yep.
Smaller fandoms, smaller IPs from Star Wars will get obliterated if their pricing gets bad. So I think for Lego, it might be more along the lines of it benefits them just sticking with the Netflix version because they have that rapport with Netflix already. They could probably use they probably got that access through the Netflix deal they already have. That's probably how they got it. If they go out for anything but that, it might cost them an arm and a leg, and that really good pricing we have so far may just cease to exist entirely.
I remember I was going to say, I'm sure there are people at Lego's job, their whole thing is try to reach out to people and try to get IP collaborations and everything. And the sad part is, I was reading volume one of One Piece, and the author notes at the back said Ichiro, sorry if I said his name wrong, Oda He said some of the things he likes. Oh, I like collecting different things. Legos specifically, he said in
And
the
that was in
first.
the 90s.
Yeah.
Wow.
He said
Yeah.
he's loved Lego, and he said in his author's note when the sets were announced that he's always wanted Lego sets this whole time. So it's a little bit sad and mind-blowing. Like he's always wanted Lego sets based even just on the manga or anime, and
Wow.
it's whatever Toei anime companies not allowing it.
Hmm.
So it's a little bit sad because this theme should go on forever,
So
but
now I
yeah.
wanted to ask this earlier. I forgot to ask. So as Lego fans and One Piece fans, has One Piece always been a theme that you were like hoping would happen eventually, and like you never thought it would happen, and then once you heard about it, you lost your mind? Or
I'll
is it
be
just like it came out of left field, like, oh my God, I can't believe this happened. I never thought this would happen. This is amazing.
I'll be completely candid with you, Cameron Studios and Langston Bills. I did not grow up watching this show. I did not grow up reading these books. The live action came out, and that was my first exposure. After
Really?
that, I watched the entire anime, and now I'm reading the manga, and it's one of the most epic. Like, it's not just like hashtag, oh, hashtag epic. It's a literal epic. Like, it's being
Mm,
considered to be one of the first modern day epics ever made. And so I wasn't like the sets were super exciting because I was into it
hmm.
at that point, but it's not something I grew up with. I'll just be honest with you, Cameron. I'll
Okay.
just be candid.
No, no, I appreciate that. I mean, I'm wondering if One Piece fans have always been like, I want a Lego set. Because, like,
Oh, I'm
growing
sure.
up, I wanted, like, after the Spider-Man set, I'm like, I want a Hulk set. I want a Captain America set. And I didn't get it until 2012. And then when it happened, oh my God. And, like, same thing happening with Pokemon. I've always wanted Lego
Yes.
Pokemon. And then we got Mega Constructs. I'm like, okay, this is all right. I mean, they do some zany pieces and different molds, but I want it to be Lego. And the fact that we are getting that is just awesome for me as a Pokemon fan.
Yes.
So I'm wondering if the same thing happened with One Piece fans, but I guess we can only assume since, I mean, DanieLewa, did you grow up watching One Piece at all, or were you similar to Matt?
No, kind of similar to Matt, but it's in this sense of like, if you, yeah, anything that you're passionate about, you want there to be Lego, and some things make more sense to be in Lego than others.
Hmm.
One Piece, fortunately, is like it's a perfect mesh and marriage for Lego. You got characters that are highly marketable, that you can make crazy minifigures and fun designs out of. And you have like big ships and very easy play sets and locations and creatures to make like it's like no effort at all to be like, oh, what do we make out of this anime or this show? Like it's all right there. The figure designs, yeah, you have to get creative with how to make them into Lego, but you don't have to get creative with trying to figure out cool designs because they're there. Like look at the brick heads. Those are
Yeah.
some of the best looking brick heads in years. They're
I mean, okay,
actually
I wouldn't go
cool.
that far. They're
I would go that
honestly,
far.
I think he's right.
I mean, they're very cool looking, and honestly, I think this is one of the first or second noses we've gotten in a long time outside of like the animals, like for humanoids. I think outside of Krusty the Clown or the clown itself, I don't think we've seen many noses. So it's really cool to see
Bro.
that. And like I'm wondering if next year, because I'm pretty sure Brickheads is its own budget, if we'll see the rest of the Straw Hat crew
That'd be
in
cool.
Brickhead form, if like we'll get like a 4 pack or two packs or something. Because like
They definitely
these two
will.
are very solid. I'm surprised. Well, you know, I'm not. I first I thought maybe they should have made them 2 pack, but I think it's better to do the 1 pack just it's something different and like you can grab one and grab one later. But like building these are a lot of fun and I hope they do more characters just because from what I've seen it's very colorful and a lot of different building techniques could
Oh
be
my.
used just within these characters alone.
Yes, that's one thing I always say is the character design in One Piece. It's not everyone's cup of tea, the artwork and everything, but almost every character is recognizable from their silhouette alone.
Hmm.
Almost literally every One Piece. It's actually crazy how he does that. But the thing is, Cameron Studios, those two brickheads that you're holding in your hand, this is the difference between having a Lloyd no hate to Ninjago,
Oh,
but the difference between having a Lloyd Ninjago brickheads and Buggy the Clown and Luffy is you're literally holding two future emperors of the sea from one of the most epic stories ever told in your hand in brickheads form. That's going to age so much better than any sort of Ninjago or Dreams or anything like that, where it's just washed out by the next wave of sets. Any single One Piece set is going to be so legendary. Like this could be a great theme, and I hope it goes on forever.
You heard it here. Buy as many of these brickheads as you can and hold on to them because if I'm not mistaken, I think they might be retiring end of this year, if I heard
oh,
correctly.
They
wow.
probably are.
Okay.
So Methuselah, jump on. I know you don't have them. You really should get these, honestly.
Okay, you might convince me just for you, Cameron Studios, but I still want my Mousehold Brickheads, my Soma Yukihira
Give me some
Brickheads.
time. I'm reorganizing my
I want my
collection.
mouthhold brickheads.
You'll in due time. You know what? Come to Brick World and you'll get them
Okay,
there.
if
You'll
you have
get
the
them there.
Cersei, hey, if you have the Cersei bust mock, I'm gonna be there,
I'm
brother.
not.
Oh
No,
my
no.
gosh.
I'm Brickheads and Brickheads alone. I'm currently designing right now. So you come to
Oh
Brick
my
World, I'll
God.
have those Brickheads at Brick World.
Well, how do we know that Mousehold Brickheads aren't the first Lego Pokemon set they're
We don't
releasing
know.
on
Yeah,
We'll
show?
have to wait and see.
I will. I'm
2026
gonna
is
tell you right
Pokemon.
now. If that ends up being the first Pokemon brickhead, I will give you $8 gajillion.
Yes.
You can write
God.
that down. I will give you every dollar ever been made on planet Earth if that's the first brickhead they ever make.
You know, it's probably honestly you're gonna probably get a Pikachu and an Ash, and then I'd like to see like maybe if we're getting off topic, like a trainer and then a Pokemon Brickhead.
Hey,
Yeah, that's
we
fair.
have to
Like
hop right
a
back on the brick. Once those sets are shown, we got to talk even more about Pokemon because we're all Pokemon fans here.
oh
So,
Yes,
yeah.
we will have to talk
but
about
that is kind
Pokemon.
of on topic because it's so interesting. We just posted a Lego One Punch Man video. It's so interesting. Lego and anime are slowly, even Pokemon has an anime. They're
Hmm.
slowly converging, slowly but surely, and it's
So
really cool to see.
this is kind of the last topic I want to discuss before we wrap it up. Do we think that the success of the One Piece sets is going to carry over and get more anime representation into Lego? Like Pokemon, I feel like I don't want to say doesn't count, but like it's its own entity at this point. Like it's very much just a giant mega conglomerate. So it's like, will the success of One Piece get us
I'm gonna
other things like
say
maybe My Hero or something like that?
not directly, only because it's based off the Netflix show first.
Okay.
But I think yes, Linkster. I think yes. I think we're gonna see Dragon Ball Goku's Lego hair
Oh,
was leaked in Fortnite. Now they have a Lego piece hair for Goku. We're gonna see I'm gonna say yes. It's only a matter of time before we have more animes. That's just how it is.
especially with Monkey Kid pretty much dying. They
Rip.
can fill in that void now.
No,
Sorry,
it's very
DanieLewa. I
true.
had to. I had to.
You're exactly right. There's this void for the Eastern Asian market, and for the worldwide audience, it's just for manga and anime, it's
Mm.
just massive. I think they would definitely go with the absolute biggest ones first because they're so risk averse.
Mhm.
Hmm.
I mean, One Piece. Yeah, of course, that's the first one they do. It's the biggest one. Next, Dragon Ball. We're not going to see My Hero until they do at least those ones, and then oh,
Naruto.
oh yeah,
Give
Naruto
me
even
my
would be
hero.
even
Give me
that.
my hero, please.
Yeah, and then maybe My Hero, and everyone's gonna be like, "Where's my Attack on Titan
Oh
buildable
my
corpse
God.
or whatever?"
That
Like,
we
that's not
don't need to
happening.
see
No,
Attack.
We're
no,
not gonna
nope,
see
nope.
I'm okay not ever seeing that. Not gonna lie.
Yeah, where's our Food Wars? I don't
Where's my Haikyuu volleyball court with actual? Yeah.
know.
I think we'll get Hello Kitty first before we get those.
That's
Oh,
not, hey,
wow. Yeah. How have they not done that yet?
I don't
not a
think
bad
they can
I
idea.
get
think
the
I've watched some
license,
of it.
honestly.
Not a bad idea. Well,
Once
I
Animal
think,
Crossing ends, maybe.
yeah, I think Animal Crossing might end here shortly because I don't think those are doing great. I'm sorry.
Don't tell Aaron.
No, she'll be mad.
Oh, she's gonna be watching this episode.
If she
Hi,
doesn't
Aaron.
get Apollo, she might actually take people's lives. So we need to at least get Apollo as a minifigure, and then they can end Animal Crossing.
Oh, I got it. No, I love oh man, Animal Crossing minifigures are the best Legos ever freaking made. So it's kind of sad to see it end. But anyways, that's off topic. One Piece, Camera Studios, Linkster. Watch One Peak right now. You don't have to. I'm not the type to say, oh, you have to enjoy what I enjoy,
I need to
but
give the I need to finish I need to finish season one of the live action. I need to finish that. That I feel like is going to be a much easier jump in point for me to actually give it a shot because I tried watching the original anime years ago and just could not get through it because I was just like
totally
I'm
fine.
so behind. But this is a much better
Mhm.
just way for me to just slip right in and get caught up that or at least get going that way. But does anybody have any final thoughts on on the Lego One Piece, the future of the theme before we wrap up here? We'll start with DanieLewa.
Yeah, I mean, I think the future is bright. They have these sets sold out in multiple Lego stores still over a month. Well, a month after they've been released. Like,
Mhm.
it's gonna continue to do well. We're gonna be continue to see new sets. I just hope they keep this level of quality and value up, and we'll be blessed.
It was even to the point where I saw Arlong Park on back order at one point. I'm like, gulp. And yeah, Lego, fix your quality assurance because the window of grates were falling out the frames on that. So, Lego, get it together. Hire Daniel.
Oh,
I'm just
jeez.
joking. No, they really need to. It's the same reason I like Marvel Cameron Studios. I love superpower type.
Hmm.
That's why I enjoyed My Hero Academia for the most part because I love seeing the super powered people, and that's also what One Piece has. Amazing characters, amazing vehicles, amazing locations. How can this not go on forever?
Mhm.
Please, heaven above, Lego, Niels B. Christiansen, Penn Plays, Ben the Brick Builder. Let's all pray to them all. Please, more
Oh
Lego One
my
Piece, bro.
gosh.
Um,
Sacrilege.
Penn the Brick
yeah,
Builder and Ben Plays.
yeah, that's a tough act to follow. I mean, I feel like obviously the sets are doing well, and as long as Netflix keeps making the seasons, I feel like we'll keep getting them. If they can somehow get the license to the anime, options are endless. More Brickheads, please. The Brickheads were awesome. I'd love to see more of them. And honestly, give us more Netflix stuff because I feel like we get a lot of zany characters from Netflix. And I like
Mm.
to see. I like this partnership with Lego and Netflix. It seems to be brewing. So future's like DanieLewa said, future's bright. And if Lego's making money, they'll keep making them.
I will say the same thing. I think the fact that this whole first wave practically sold out, barring one or two that are still readily available that you can order, shows that this theme should not go anywhere anytime soon. They have obviously jumped into a massive, massive market that they are probably going to
Hmm.
hit the ground running with. I hope season two's quality in terms of the sets does not decrease or get
Yeah.
worse.
No
Just
sophomore slump.
just yeah, don't even bother with that. It just because the first season's wave was phenomenal doesn't mean you can now skimp out on season two. You need to keep this going. You need to keep the price points right. You need to keep the quality right. If you blow those, you risk sinking the whole theme. I think that's kind of my point is this can work. This can last a very long
Hmm.
time as long as you play it right. I don't think One Piece is big enough yet to where it's like a Star Wars or a Marvel where you can just put whatever you want out and people will still buy it. You've got to make sure because you've got to make sure that fan base is catered to because they will reject things if it's bad. 100%. If you can keep this quality going, this theme could go for years and
Yeah,
not
good.
stop. And I think that's a perfect way for us to take a
Yeah.
look at the future of this. So I would like to thank both of our guests for coming on, taking time out of their busy schedules to talk with us. Thank you both. Would you like to plug where everybody can find you both?
Yeah, we'll plug ourselves by saying subscribe to the Brick Hour podcast because we're going to be back here.
I
That's right.
appreciate that.
No, you know where to find us at Sakuga Builds, and we have a lot of fun. We keep it fun. We keep
Mhm.
it comic, anime. Well, Daniel made us do a Black Pearl video, so we usually do fun videos, but
Come on.
Oh, come on.
Video is
Give
fun. What do you mean?
now. I haven't even watched it yet. I know it's gonna be fun. Big Pirates of the Caribbean fan here. I'm gonna
Eh,
watch it for you, Daniel Lewa.
thank you. Yeah, we're talking about all the cool Lego coming out. So tune in.
yes. Thank you so much for having us. Love these guys. Please subscribe immediately.
And make sure you subscribe to these guys too because they're
Hmm.
equally as awesome. I will say thank you all for watching. If you have not already, subscribe to the YouTube channel, hit the notification bell so you are notified when all new episodes go live. You can also find us on Instagram at the Brick Hour Pod. You can find me on Instagram at Langster Builds. We will see everybody in the next episode. Have a great night. Happy building.
Cheers.